Hey you guys, welcome back to a long overdue episode of Auto Amateur. We got loads to talk about today, so let's get into it. I'm James, this is Auto Amateur, and I'm back after a couple of months of life and summer and COVID and travel and all of that good stuff. I've finally been able to break away to do a video in the garage. Now, today's not a driving video, today's not a DIY video, it's kind of a little bit of everything, including an update on what's been going on recently and what exciting things are to come later this summer. So, let's get talking. First off, the 996. There it is. The Project 996 car. Is it done? I'm not sure. How do you say a project car is done? I think if you're in the business kind of project management world, I think there are some very clear definitions or, boundaries for what done means. I think in the sort of more creative artistic space, like a movie, for example, you just get to the point where you say, that's it, that's good enough, done, I'm releasing it. Now, I'm not saying I'm an artist, but I think a Porsche is a work of art, and working on it is kind of like doing an art project. So before the Rocky Mountain trip, I thought I was done. I thought that was it, Project 996 is done. And I went on the drive, got a few ideas for additional things I wanted to tweak and enhance, got a couple of things that I needed to repair and replace. So over the last couple of months, I've been doing those in the garage. Now the car's running beautifully, but then I'm starting to get suspension issues. So I take it into the shop and it needs 2 new front coils. So, okay, great. Is that maintenance or is that still project mode? I guess you could call it project mode. And I've still got a few things to put on it, like the Soul Performance mufflers, which are sitting right behind me and I haven't had a chance to put them on yet. So, I don't know. I'm kind of in this limbo land at the moment where the car's driving and it's beautiful and I'm having loads of fun, but there are still a handful of things that I want to get done ahead of a couple of trips that are coming up this summer. And let's talk about those after we talk about some of the things that I've done on the car first. Biggest things I've done to the car in the last couple of months has been the suspension work. I did the forward arms and I did the control arms myself on the 2 front wheels, and that was a relatively straightforward project. But then the coils themselves went, and I didn't want to tackle that job, even though I've got friends that have done it, and the DIY video probably would have been a lot of fun to shoot. But I figured that's just one thing I wanted Porsche to do for me, kind of like putting the engine and the transmission in. So the suspension is now just like a brand new car. It's absolutely fantastic. It still sits a little high, it's still at stock ride height. I haven't gone for coilovers or springs. I haven't done anything like that yet, and I haven't touched the back of it though. Maybe that'll be something I do in the future. But suspension-wise and sort of mechanically, that's the biggest thing that's happened to the car in the last couple of months. I've then been making a few sort of refinements, some pretty cool, some pretty lame, I guess, relatively. The cool ones, my coolest refinements so far, I think, are the grills that I've put behind the front bumper from radiatorgrillstore.com. I was getting really bothered by just how kind of open and sort of basic the front of the car was looking. You could see all the radiators, and this one doesn't have a third radiator in the middle, so you could just basically see an aluminum panel sort of just, you know, behind the bumper. So I went ahead and got these grills. They were super easy to install, just popped off the front bumper, zip tied them on. I was going to make a DIY video about that, but the whole thing took me like 20 minutes and I decided to just go for it. So you can see the end results here. But then the sort of the lame mods, I've been adding stickers. I've got a hashtag on the side, which is Bluey996, which is the name I've given the car. I have a Bluey Porsches and Pancakes sticker that I've put on the front of the window. And that's something else I've been doing in the last month or so, is making custom badges for friends in the local Porsches and Pancakes group. They've been a lot of fun to do. And so I've got one, and Chris has got one, and Robbie's gonna have one, and it's just a little bit of fun. So mine's Bluey996, and that's in the front window. Apparently it makes the car go faster, just like the rear windscreen wiper. So, you know, there it is. But then I've also been doing a couple of things on the inside. I've replaced out the ashtray for the coin tray, which is very helpful with my iPhone. I just stick it there and it sits fine when I'm driving. I've installed a new head unit so that I've got Apple CarPlay functionality inside the car, which was an awful lot cheaper going with an aftermarket unit for a couple of $100 than the Porsche PCM unit update that has come out, which Lee Sibley at 9works has done, and it looks fantastic and it works great, but I didn't want to spend over $1,000 on that at this stage. And I've also got a couple of leather pieces coming, the e-brake handle, the handbrake handle, and also the leather boot around the gear shifter. Black leather, blue deviated stitching, that's coming in from a vendor I just found recently. Relatively inexpensive, $50 each for each one of those items. I could have also done the center arm console, you know, the rest for another 50, which I will do if these two first pieces are of decent quality. So that's pretty much it. That's like all of the tinkering I've been doing with the car and a few more jobs, but yeah, essentially it is done. But I'm just gearing up to 2 events that are coming up this summer, which I'm so excited for. The first is Checkeditout Chicago on August 27th, and the second is Jay Reed and I returning to the Tail of the Dragon at the end of September for some more fun and games up in the Smoky Mountains. So first up, Checkeditout Chicago 2022, August 27th in Chicago, funnily enough. I was booked in to go last year, got sick, unfortunately couldn't make it. This year, not only am I attending, but I've entered my car to be part of the showcase, part of the demonstration. So on the Friday night, there's a preview party for people that are gonna be participating on the Saturday with their cars. 7 a.m. sharp on the Saturday morning. I've got to turn up at downtown Porsche on the West Loop area of Chicago to get my car in, get it staged, get it set up, make sure it's clean, and then it's going to sit there for 6 hours among lots of other Porsche 911s and lots of other Porsches for the whole morning and into the afternoon, and people get to take a look at it. I'm really excited. It's like it's going to be part of the exhibit. It's going to be part of the story of this event, and I'm really excited. So another reason for like just getting all of these little things done, if I can, in the next couple of weeks before it actually sits out there for the world to see. If you haven't checked it out already, the spectator passes are free. You can register online to get event information, but essentially if you turn up on the Saturday at around 10 o'clock, I think it is, 10 o'clock till 3 p.m. It's a free event. It's in a warehouse sort of district. Porsche Classic, there's a building there with lots of classic cars that you can see, as well as all of the other people who are coming to the event to put their cars on display. So a lot of fun. And then of course there's all the merch you can buy, like t-shirts and lanyards and all that good stuff. So that's Checkeditout Chicago. And then returning to the Tail of the Dragon, Jay and I had such a good time last year. We got ourselves a bigger cabin. In fact, it's a compound of 4 or 5 cabins on the top of a hill with gorgeous views. We're going to be basing ourselves in Bryson City, and while we will be doing Tail of the Dragon and Highway 129, we're also going to be doing several other routes in the area, but taking advantage of the location of Bryson City, North Carolina, where we're actually at the foothills, so the base of the Smoky Mountains, and we can go off in a number of different directions on some really, really cool adventures. If you want to join us, check out autoamateur.com. There's a page there called the Fall Tour 2022, and it'll give you all the details, rally points, where we're staying, what we're doing. Last time we had I think up to 20 people on the Saturday, probably similar numbers this time. There'll be a drive on the Friday and a drive on the Saturday and a social Saturday evening, a drive on the Sunday, and then Monday morning we all sort of head off via Tail of the Dragon in our own separate directions back around the country. So 3 or 4 days of really cool driving in the Smokies with a bunch of like-minded Porsche nuts. If you're interested, check out autoamateur.com, Fall Tour 2022. So that's it for another video. Thanks for checking it out. If you haven't already, start listening to Curb and Canyon. It's a new Porsche podcast that myself and Andy Gorns over at Last Rasp have put out. We've got 1 season behind us now with about 12 episodes, and we're 2 or 3 episodes into our 2nd season. It is a riot. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to record. I'm told it's a lot of fun to listen to. We've got some great guests. We've got some great chit chat and banter about all the things that are happening in the Porsche world week to week. Andy's also just bought himself a delicious GT4. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that in the next couple of pods. So that's fun. More videos coming this summer, of course, as I go to these events and I do mods like the Soul Performance exhaust behind me. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I know it's been a little while since I posted my last video, but hopefully this marks the return of the next chain of Auto Amateur videos. So take care, get out and drive, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.